Hey, it's your boy T Rob. Welcome back to the podcast, Unapologetic Perspective. Um, Once again, we've been watching the numbers with every video that we put out. We're seeing our numbers are going up, our following is going up, and I want to tell everybody I really appreciate the love for the content that we're putting out. This stuff is near and dear to my heart, really. You know, the purpose of this show is to talk about my journey. So, if anything in my journey can help somebody out in their journey in life, that's the purpose of all of the content that I'm putting out. I believe wholeheartedly that I had to go through something in order to have a message for everybody out there who may think that they're alone in the struggle out here and that they've hit a dead end or hit a wall when it comes to trying to figure out what the direction is in life that they need to be going. So once again, like I said, man, I appreciate all the love that you all have shown me by liking and subscribing. If you haven't yet, if you watch my content more than once, if you're getting something from it, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps the algorithm out. As we build, we're going to be putting out better content. I look forward to doing interviews with some of your favorite content creators talking about serious issues. Um, we want to try to address some things within ourselves, and that's the purpose of this. Is talking about what we can do, because we can't change the world. As I've said before, you can only see the world for what it is. The world can upset you, and you can feel like the world needs to change to fit what it is or the narrative that you believe. But at the end of the day, the world is what it is. We want to learn how to navigate within the world so we can have more peace in our souls. The thing about when you have a peaceful inside, it translates or it trickles down to everything else in your life. You'll find that your relationships are much easier. Your finances start to flow much better. Energy is surrounded by everything, right? Anything that we hold on to or put a lot of pressure on, we break. But the minute that we start to bring ourselves into ease and out of dis-ease, right? Let's look at that word, ease and dis-ease, right? Dis-ease being connected to the word disease, as in having something wrong internally. We can look at it in the same way with our mind state. When our minds are in dis-ease, then we start to realize that everything that we want, everything that we try to manifest, we push away from us. That's what these videos are about, and I appreciate the love. Welcome back to the show, the Unapologetic Perspective, man. It's your boy T Rob. I want to thank you once again, everybody. We're watching those numbers go up. The more shows that we continue to put out, the more we're starting to see our numbers go up on YouTube. We're seeing our numbers go up on Instagram. I appreciate the support. Please hit the like button to subscribe for more content. We're over here. We're being mindful in 2026, and I think that's what this is all about. And I think that we're in an era where more people are trying to be more considerate and more mindful of themselves and just trying to figure out where they need to be in life to have a better life. And I think that this content is for those people who want to try to figure their own stuff out. So yes, if anything on this show resonates with you and you could take anything from this show, please hit the like button, subscribe. I genuinely do this because I believe that the message of my life and the journey that I've been on is so I can come and tell people what it is that I've learned from all of my experiences. With that being said, I don't tell the story of my life and the things. I don't reveal myself in order to show people the things that I've gone through, because I don't have an original message when it comes to my life. I haven't gone through anything that anybody else can't hold a measuring stick to and say, hey, I went through something worse than that, or you think that's bad, I went through something worse, whatever it may be. Oh, dude, you had it easy, whatever it may be, right? That's not why I talk about what I talk about. That's not why I get on here and reveal the stories of my life. I get on here to reveal the stories of my life because I genuinely know, I don't think I know for a fact, that we all go through something, but how you end up in the end is strictly based on how you see what you went through. So when I come on here and I talk about my life, it's to show people that I'm not coming from a place where I had a smooth life and everything went well for me. I come on here to talk about how I went through things just like everybody else. I went through all the traumas. I've had all the situations and dramas that everybody else has had. But the way that I look at things is much different. I look at things from a standpoint of everybody and everything in my life was a teacher. I was not a victim of any kind of circumstances. I got to where I'm at in life where I'm pretty peaceful. I'm pretty happy. I do well financially. I got a pretty level life, a pretty level mind state. I walk through this earth with a level of peace that most people don't have. And that's because I've looked at my life in a different way than most people out here, I believe, look at their lives. I'm not going to say most, because there's a lot of people who realize that life happens to you no matter what, right? You don't have extraordinary circumstances, but how you look at things is going to determine how you flow through life. And if nothing else, we want to have a peaceful life, man. You're not guaranteed a tomorrow. Tomorrow's not guaranteed to happen. The next minute is not guaranteed to happen. Anything can happen, right? When you look back at your life, the entirety of your life, do you really want to go to your grave with the anger and the angst and all of those feelings that you have on your shoulder, that you're shouldering about other people? Do you really want to go to your grave with that energy? Or do you want to live a good quality life, free of all the burdens of hate, all the burdens of things that happen to you, all the weights of your mind? That's the question at the end of the day. So when I tell these stories, when I get on here and I spill my heart out about some of the things that happened in my life, know that I'm saying those things because I don't look at those things as I was a victim. There is no hero or victim in my story. I can't point to one person in my life that I don't see as somebody who did teach me some kind of lesson. And because of that, I can love easily. I can love people from a distance. I mean, people who have seemingly hurt me, I understand, right? You know, if they're still dealing with demons in their life, I probably will put some distance between me and them, but I can still love them. And I can look at the lesson that was meant for me to learn from having experienced them, right? You experience people in your life. You know, whether it's your mother, your father, whoever it may be, you experience people in your life and they're here to teach you something. We often think that relationships are meant to make us better, and people are supposed to give us everything that we need to be the best version of ourselves. We're looking at it wrong. You think that you're only supposed to get positive reinforcement to be the best version of yourself. We never stop to look at the hard times, which are the times that made you the toughest, which are the times that got you up and out of bed every day and said, hey, I'm gonna show the world what it is that I'm made of. We never look at those things as the important things that we needed from people as well, right? We only look at people in a way where we say, hey, I was supposed to get everything good from this person and they didn't deliver on what it was that they were supposed to give me. And that's not a good way of looking at life because it always makes you a victim. I had a friend one time who confided in me about her childhood, and she was raised in the suburbs of Detroit to two parents who were in the automotive industry. And she told me, she said her parents gave her everything that she ever wanted. And she believed that as an adult, she was messed up the way that she was messed up because her parents gave her everything that she wanted and didn't make her take personal responsibility. That says a lot right there, right? That somebody who got seemingly everything that a parent can give you. You know, she told me she went to school in Coogee clothes. She got a car when she was 15 years old. She had everything that she wanted. And even when I knew her as an adult, her parents were constantly bailing her out. Constantly bailing her out. Mistake after mistake was made, and they would always come in and bail her out of every situation that she got herself into. She believed that they were the problem. The problem to her life was parents who did too much for her. Now, if that's not telling about how everybody looks at the world differently and how we can always find a way or a reason why somebody else may be the problem to our circumstances that we're currently in, I don't know what is. I had a friend one time who was worth $30 million. We talked for a while. We actually dated for a while. She was worth $30 million she inherited from her mom. Her mom died and left her with this money. And during the course of our relationship and me getting to know her, I learned just how unhappy she was with all the means that she had. She never had to work a day in her life for anything. She had had everything handed to her in life. We used to hang out and we spent some time on vacation together. And while we were on vacation, man, we drank and we ate in excess. We did all of the things that we wanted to do in excess because we had unlimited means. And I remember one day I woke up and she had left the hotel room for some reason. And I was in there by myself, just thinking to myself. And I thought, I can understand how somebody can really mess their lives up having this much excess and not having to have worked for it. And that was exactly the case, I believe, with her. She was not a happy person, and she would tell me all the time she didn't care if she lived or died. And I couldn't fathom that and understand that, because in our minds, we think money equates to happiness, right? That's what we think. We never see the bigger picture. Oftentimes, I think what we believe is that the thing that we don't have is the thing that will ultimately make us happy. We never sit and consider where somebody else is in life because we think there's a destination to life. We think if we get to one point in life, then hey, I've made it to the finish line. What you learn and what you find out is that there is no finish line. When you get something, now your heart desires something else. When you get that thing, you now desire something else, and so on and so forth. So a lot of this show we're going to be talking, going forward, we're going to be talking about being mindful for one, but also learning to be in the state of here and now. Because the only thing that you really have is the here and now, right? We spend a lot of time looking at the past, assessing what we did wrong, and we spend a lot of time in our minds in the future. We're going to talk about ways that you can bring yourself back to the presence of today and enjoy today. Be at peace with what you have today. Be thankful for what you have today. Give yourself grace for what you've done in the past so that you don't carry this huge load around on your back. And also give other people grace. One of the other things that we're going to talk about is our relationship with judgment. Shout out to the brother Ryan Davis, man. I enjoyed the interview he did on Club Shay Shay that came out. I watched the entire thing in its entirety, and he really spilled his guts out. And of course, the internet is going to have mixed reviews. And if I could talk to Ryan directly, I don't know the man. You know, I love his work. Do not know you, brother. Won't presume to know what you're going through or where your head is at. But I would definitely say, man, don't read the comments section, because you do not need to take in all of the world woes and the worries of the world. I guess he was getting some pushback on some of the things that he said. And that's going to happen. Nobody's going to agree with you 100% on your standpoint. And you can get on here and spill your guts out and make yourself as vulnerable as you want to be. And there's still people who are going to be just destined to disagree with you and see you in a bad light. It just is what it is. I would say carry this with you. If I can give anybody any wisdom who's going through that or trying to figure out why it is that they're getting piled on. There's nobody that's walking around that's perfect. Everybody is somebody. Everybody is the bad guy in somebody's book. Now, some of y'all out there that think that y'all walking around and your shit don't stink and people look at you in a perfect way, trust me, they don't. I can tell you right now, they don't. There's somebody out there right now that thinks you're a piece of shit. That's facts on facts. So while we're judging other people and we're hanging other people and we're in the court of public opinion, dragging other people through the mud, notice somebody behind your back right now is dragging you through the mud just as bad. They think you're a terrible person. You're like, oh, not me. I've been a great person. I treat everybody well. You don't get to decide how people experience you. You don't get to decide that. There's somebody out there who has experienced you in a way that they don't consider to be good. So while you have things to say about other people, notice somebody is doing just about the same thing to you. And at some point, you may come into the realization of that. Some experience may happen in your life where you realize, oh, not everybody sees me in a great way. I got an early lesson in this when I was younger. When I was growing up on the west side of Chicago, 3412 West 12th Place. Shout out to Eric and Boo. And I love them guys, man. I still actually communicate with Boo through Instagram, man. But we used to do this thing when somebody in the group slighted somebody else in the group. We would, as a group, X them out of the group. So we wouldn't talk to them for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time. We would excommunicate them. out of the group, and everybody in the group wouldn't talk to him. And I remember we did this. It was 4 of us in the group. I remember we did this to everybody in the group. And the last person for it to happen to was me. And I remember Boo was like, hey, we haven't gave Tim the silent treatment yet. What's up with that? And I said, well, hey, I didn't give you all the reason to give me the silent treatment. He said, it don't matter. It don't matter. We're giving you the silent treatment today. And from that day on, they stopped talking to me for 2 weeks. And I was perfectly happy to do it to everybody else until it was time for it to be done to me. It was all fun and games when we was doing it to everybody else. But the minute it was done to me, now I'm like, oh, wow. And that set with me for life, man. Imagine that. To this day, I was 11 years old when that happened? To this day, I'm still talking about it because it was a lesson in ganging up on people and crucifying people for my own entertainment because it's fun to pile on, right? And it's not to say I haven't done it since then because we've all had our moments, but I'm just at this point in my life where I'm re-examining my relationship with judgment, because it's also a thing that's said about the way you judge other people has more to do with you than it does with them. And a lot of people will say, to that fact as well, right? Well, you haven't done a deep dive into your own mind state to figure out what it is that makes you so upset about what somebody else has to say and what somebody else is doing. But I guarantee you, if you set with yourself enough, you will figure out some of these things. Life is a weird thing, and I can tell you the way that you don't lose is that you focus your attention on figuring out your own stuff. Anything that you want in this world, you can bring to you, but you have to fix your mind. Your mind is just like your body and anything else. What you feed it, how you exercise it on a daily basis, and what you give it is going to produce something. And you actually send energy out into the world that will either repel what it is that you want or bring to you what it is that you want. But you have to practice mindfulness enough. Some people know this, and this is why they do vision boards. This is why they write down affirming things in notebooks, or they put it up on a blackboard, because they know that you have to write a thing down, you have to own a thing, right? We know this, but we don't exercise it enough because our minds are very tricky. Our mind wants us to do everything but come up with a solution. And the reason for that is that we feel safer in the position that we're in, even if it's a shitty position, right? So you can be in the hood your entire life, and I've actually seen this with friends and family who grew up in the hood and stayed in the hood. They never leave because they at least know that demon, right? They don't want to have to deal with the demon of figuring out the next situation or being in the next situation. They're doing what's comfortable for them. But the minute you can step outside of that comfort zone, there's growth there. And the thing is, you really only need one situation to go right for you. Now, you may have to make a lot of attempts at it, right? You have to get out here and try things, and you're going to fail through some things. But the minute you get one win, you realize that you can get multiple wins across the board. So you only really need that one win in life to get where it is that you have to go. That's the starting point. Once you realize, hey, I can do this, I'm really good at doing this, then you realize that you put your 10,000 hours into anything else that you attempt to do, and it will produce results. But the first step is getting out of your comfort zone. Get beyond feeling safe in an unsafe and uncomfortable place. Because we get there, we get to where, hey, this isn't the safest place. It's not the most comfortable place. In fact, it's very dysfunctional, but it's the demon I know, it's the devil I know. And your mind will trick you into staying in that place because it's the devil you know. We're gonna build on more topics. I got a lot more stuff to touch on, talk about. I just kind of went on a rant with this one, but it is what it is. I got a lot of stuff that I had in my head out. I do this every day, man. I sit with myself for about an hour in the morning, and I just meditate and think on things. And anytime that I get to be alone, I spend that time alone because I'm able to really come up with some of the topics that we talk about and think about some of the things that have affected my life that have pushed me in a certain direction. I walk much lighter and with much more peace in my heart because I spend a lot of time unpacking my own stuff. And I think the key for most people, not for most people, for all people, is if they went inside and they started to unpack their own bags, their own stuff, their own trauma, they can figure out what it is that's causing them to act in a certain way. They can better regulate that thing and then come around to some conclusions and get to a place where they can actually start to make some movements towards the things that it is that they want in life. And sometimes you get the things that you want in life and you realize that that's not what you want. But the ultimate goal is to live with some kind of peace in your life. I live with a great deal of peace in my life at this point. I do anything that I want to do. For the most part, I'm not ultra rich and I don't need to be, you know. I'm more so predicate my success on doing things. You can hand me $1 million and I'd rather work for that $1 million. I'm just being honest. I've worked a great deal of hours in my life. I've done a lot of hard things and I prefer doing the hard thing versus having things handed to me in life because it builds character. And I actually enjoy challenges. So with that being said, and we're gonna continue to build, man. I'm gonna continue to drop this content. We'll continue to talk about things that will keep you mindful. And the topic on this podcast and the thing that we're always gonna get back to is killing your ego. Anything that your ego is attached to will always serve you wrong or serve you in a way that is not the best. So we want to destroy that ego. We want to take our ego out of the equation so that we can better look at life through a clear lens. It's your boy T. Rob. It's the Unapologetic Perspective Podcast. I'm going to see you guys on the next video. And in fact, we'll have 3 or 4 more videos coming this week.